As you can see, it's the little things that make a big difference in your hair routine. Now, to preface, there is nothing wrong with this side of my head. It's just a very different look. And with just a few pro tips and tweaks to your routine, you can have results that are a lot more bouncy, voluminous, shiny, even healthy. What's good, everybody? If you don't know me, I'm Mel, and recently I shared with you a few things that you don't need to be doing in your hair routine. But there are some very underrated practices. So in this video, I'm gonna show you what you should be doing, because ultimately I want to save you time and I'd like to save you money. So without further ado, these are some do's and don'ts of styling that are worth doing. Do-do-do-do-ding. Oh, and I also want to mention that throughout this video, you will see me using some Aveda styling products. I am a very proud Aveda stylist and ambassador, and so I use all Aveda products throughout today's routine. I will have the order of all the products I am using listed below, as well as links so you can check them out, including this is the new Botanical Repair Bond Building Styling Cream. So you'll learn a little bit more about this, but ultimately you will see that it's not just about the product, but how you are using it. So without further ado, let's get to it. So I'm just gonna start by clipping up one half of my head that won't be doing any of these steps. What I call this neglect, maybe that's dramatic, but the first thing you wanna do and not skip is de-shed. What does that even mean? Well, we are always shedding. Every day, 50 to 100 strands are loosening. They are releasing from our scalp, and that's totally normal, totally realistic, but it can look scary when your hair is curly because we don't detangle our hair every day. So this isn't quite detangling, but this is helping to remove the strands that are caught and locked in the curls so that when you go to detangle, oh, it's gonna be so much easier. And you definitely wanna de-shed if there's a long time in between your wash days. A minute and 15 seconds to fully detangle. 30 seconds less. 30 seconds less fully detangled. Half the time. Well, I mean, when you're using a good conditioner, it's... But, I'm sorry, it was so much easier. Step 2 that you shouldn't be skipping, that you don't want to skip, is oiling. I am a big fan of oil treatments to the hair. They have always worked amazing for me as someone with high porosity, and the science says that it's better to use them than to not. So I kind of do these 2 steps simultaneously as I am oiling my strands, I'm smoothing them down, I'm protecting them before washing, and I'm ever so gently detangling, but most importantly, de-shedding to protect our hair and preserve the shine and strength on our ends, which are much more fragile than the rest. And look, you might not care to oil your hair if you have low porosity, but if you color treat your hair, then this is definitely something you want to be doing, and everyone should be de-shedding. This is all from just half of my head right now. Double cleansing. When it comes to cleansing, there is a reason salon professionals preach lather, rinse, and repeat. We're the same professionals that advise not to overly wash your hair too often because it's damaging and can result in dry, frizzier strands. So watch as I cleanse. The first time around, the shampoo just doesn't foam as much. The product has to work really hard to cut through the initial wall of dirt and oils and likely won't get all of them off in one go, especially since a lot of shampoos nowadays are made to be more gentle. So this is going to leave behind some buildup, which is why double cleansing is so beneficial, especially if you space out your wash days, if your hair is really dirty, and if you like using styling products. On the second go around, you won't need a lot of shampoo, and if you're worried about this being drying, you can use a deep moisturizing shampoo like I'm using here. This is the Aveda Nutriplenish Deep Moisture Shampoo. It is one of my favorite moisturizing shampoos, but just look at the lather. I am able to work this through my strands to gently cleanse the lengths and ends, and the hair is ready for conditioning. You can actually see a big difference in the before versus the after. Buildup left on your strands when cleansing will result in more frizz. So this tip is underrated but highly recommended. Next, stay where you are and start styling in the shower. Now this is a huge time saver, especially if you have dry hair that dries very quickly, because The more wet your hair, the more defined your curls will be. Now, this is what I recommend, especially if your hair is dry. After rinsing out your conditioner, apply a leave-in cream, or as I am doing, use a styling cream to work into your ends. This is Aveda's new Botanical Repair Bond Building Styling Cream, and since incorporating this into my styling routine over the last month, my curls have been so incredibly bouncy. The technology in this utilizes a silicone-free, naturally derived plant complex to build the hydrogen bonds in your hair, strengthen and reinforce hair's integrity from the cortex, protect the hair's outermost F layer of the cuticle to help shield it from future styling damage, and this cream provides a flexible medium hold with styling polymers that you want evenly coating your strands. So you can see I am finger combing it, and this is a technique I'm going to keep doing to style so you can really appreciate my natural curl pattern at the end of this video without manipulation using these products. Besides, if you leave it for later, like I'm doing on the one side, and your hair starts to dry, your product might not evenly apply. Now, just because I started in the shower doesn't mean I need to finish in the shower. Now that we've got the ball rolling, let's continue, shall we? Lovely. Now, on the topic of heat styling, although that's not what I'm doing here today, one of the most important things that I could say as a stylist to help you at home keep the health of your hair intact is, in fact, to be reapplying your heat protectants in between each heat application. Now, that may not be the same product because some products are meant to be applied on damp hair, but reapplying a new layer of protectant, let's say before blow drying and then again before using a hot iron, that is going to ensure that you are truly protected. So we got pre-pooing, de-shedding, double cleansing, styling in the shower, don't knock it till you try it, reapplying heat protectant, and now styling in sections. I've already split my hair in two, and on this side I will show you not what not to do, but the difference this makes. So I'm going to take some of my gel, I'm taking that amount, and I'm going to smooth this over my hair, which if it were thicker, this would not be easy for me to do thoroughly. I want you to zoom and really see how this looks. It's not bad, it's not bad. But let me show you something better. We're first going to start by sectioning the hair, and actually we started in the shower. My hair's got a lot of moisture, but now that I've actually separated the hair, I can treat each section for how it's growing out of my head. And so now by sectioning, I can properly and thoroughly get to styling. Now I could feel that I could use a little bit more gel. Maybe I like a look with a lot of hold in my hair. And if that sounds like you, I want you to avoid overusing one product, because the reality is I already have this in my hair. I'm kind of going in with another layer, but I'm not getting any additional benefits out of this product. I'm just simply packing it on my hair. And so now by sectioning, I can properly and thoroughly apply less of one product, and I can layer in another one for additional benefits. For example, right now I'm adding a little bit of a mousse with stronger hold because, like I mentioned, it is winter here, so I kind of need a stronger hold. So I'm just using a small amount of this to scrunch into my curls. And by doing all of this, the sectioning, the layering, I'm actually using less amounts of product, just multiple, which allows me to also do some necessary spot treating. You know when you use concealer and a couple areas that are a little, well, they need a little extra? Everyone has that section on their head that needs a little extra. It may be the area around their face, because this hair tends to be a lot finer, and it also takes a lot of day-to-day mechanical damage by pulling back our hair, sleeping on it, maybe playing with it, tucking it behind our ear. These curls might not always cooperate with you. For me, I really like to focus my spot treating in my bangs section, because this is the area that frames my face and I want it to look very based. Beige. The very beige. And if you look closely, you can just see how this little corner at my temples is super, super frizzy. It's unruly. It just doesn't want to cooperate with me. You might have a section in the back of your crown that feels like a completely different texture on your head that really might not be necessary on your whole head. I mean, it might look really good, but it's going to be really time consuming and, again, not necessary. So we do some spot treating. I mean, just look at the difference already. I almost flashed you. This is styling one section with just one product, but kind of a lot of it, so that I really make sure I get enough. But on this side, we sectioned, spot treated, and layered our products. And now we're gonna get to drying. Even though I have showed you how to properly use this thing for over 5 years now, there are still people that prefer air drying. But allow me to demonstrate yet again why you should not underestimate this thing. It's all about how you are diffusing. We start by hovering. You want to focus at your root area. Keep the dryer facing downwards, circulating around your head, and then we're going to scrunch with the diffuser to encourage bounce. So, a tip is to turn the dryer off as you move it from section to section and on as you have the curls scooped up in the bowl. You want to hold for about 10 seconds before releasing and going on to the next section until dry. I am so lopsided. I am going to be so lopsided. It's the one downfall to doing these side-by-side videos. That and the middle part. God damn it! See what happens if we aren't diffusing. Now, as a Canadian curly, I am not crazy. It is midwinter, and I'm not going to stand around air drying. So we're just going to mimic that effect with this little dryer stand. I'm going to put the dryer on cool and just mimic the effect of air drying. Things you make me do for you. Obviously, as you can see, it's the little things that make a big difference in your hair routine. Now, it's not just the things that you do on wash day that make a big difference, but even throughout the week, as you are also doing your workout routine, make sure that you remove your hair tie, your scrunchie, whatever you put in your hair to keep it from moving. Make sure you release that hairstyle while it is still fresh. I mean with sweat. If your hair dries in your ponytail, it's gonna take that shape for the rest of the week. And as one more bonus, you might not want to hear it, but make sure you are frequently trimming your hair. The more that you maintain your hair with haircuts, the better the bounce, the shape, the volume, the movement, the health of your hair will be. Also, styling is always easier after a fresh haircut, which I am actually in need of. I could definitely use a little shaping, even if that means I just do it myself at home. But we'll save that for another video. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. I hope you found it helpful. And before we go, the people want to know. I am of course referring to answering a question from last week's video for our end of day Q&A. And Nicole is asking, do you ever use 2 different shampoos in your double cleanse? Just curious because that's what I do and it works so far. And absolutely I do. This is not something you have to do. Double cleansing is recommended, but you don't have to use 2 different shampoos. However, if we remember one of my points, it's better to layer products so you get multiple benefits instead of just using a lot of one product. So why not use 2 different shampoos to double cleanse? I do this a couple different ways. Sometimes I start with something a lot more clarifying and then I go in with a more moisturizing shampoo just to help kind of soften everything and just be a little bit more gentle. We already went in with heavy duty. But on the other hand, sometimes I use something really gentle. Like I have some co-washes that you guys know I don't usually like to use conditioner washes in my cleansing routine unless I'm using it for pre-detangling. So sometimes I will use a really conditioning wash if my hair feels super dry and tangly, just to kind of help loosen things up, gently cleanse before going in with the big guns and going in with the rest of my routine. So I kind of switch it up, but absolutely, definitely recommend using 2 shampoos. If you have, you should always have at least 2 shampoos that you can alternate between so you can truly care for all of your hair's needs. I hope that this video was something that you needed to see. I hope that you appreciate the sacrifices. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. We are actually very quickly on our road to 700K, which means we're gonna have to do an updated giveaway. Ooh, shh, thank you so much. I can't believe that we're here. We're getting here, we're getting hair together. It's a wonderful thing. I don't even know what song that is to sing. I think I'm gonna have to write my own music. Now that I look ridiculous, I'm gonna go and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace. Recording. Recording.
Why is the camera so high?
I'm tall, Amanda.
Hey, you go, girl.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish before the sun goes down.
I believe in you.
I'm getting hungry. Tracking, cancel. No, let's have it track me. I'm not meant for this life. Look at it. Where's my face? You can't even see. see me. I just want to open up the curtains. Can you see me? Staring at the blank page before you. Reaching for something in the distance. So close you can almost taste it. This is not Celine Dion, this is Natasha Bedingfield. Release your inhibitions, feel the wane on your skin. The wane? The wane on your skin. My pits are sweating. Now I like the sound of the, I think that's funny. Okay. Move. Not today. How are we looking? Oh, no. Hold it together. Hold it together. I saved it. I scooped it up. I don't give a shit. That is so... Why does this shit always happen? Ooh. Not yet. Jump the gun. Jump the gun on that one. Alright. Yeah. Ooh, cold.